This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 419.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology. The technology. Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events, no WordCamps. I'm so sorry to hear that still, and still haven't decided. I did do a little quick survey on Slack for WordCamp Raleigh, for those who are local or who want to come to Raleigh to visit. There is interest in having WordCamp Raleigh, so now I'm going to see about talking to maybe WordCamp Central, to see what that might look like for this year. Yeah, we'll see. All right, stay tuned on that still. And yeah, that's it for, no upcoming events other than that newsworthy stuff. All right, moving on. Segment one in the news. Two things here. Freemius had a hack. Freemius is a company that they have a lot of plugins and themes. It was bad. About 1 million sites were affected. Update on this, though. It was over at WP Scan, and I'll put a link to in the show notes about this. It's an unauthorized AJAX call in a chunk of plugins and themes. Biggest plugin was probably the events calendar, because they acquired that a couple years ago. So it's been fixed. So about a few days later, 3 days later, that was fixed, along with probably 50% of the things had been fixed. So that's good news. But if you're still running those things, anything from Freemius, you want to make sure you get the updates or pay attention to that as well. So check that out. I'll put a link in the show notes. Also in the news is some new acquisition news. WPExperts has acquired Post SMTP plugin from its former developer. The Post SMTP plugin is a fork of the Postman SMT plugin, which was renamed to Post SMTP Mailer email log. There's a whole lot of letters in there. Anyway, congratulations on that. Of course, now with the new acquisition, we reset that counter back to 0 for acquisitions this week. Always happening, right? People are acquiring and selling things often, apparently. So, all right, moving on to segment 2, the meat and potatoes of this week's episode, business goals versus systems. Now, this week I want to talk about the difference between goals and systems as they relate to business, and in this case, perhaps a WordPress business, okay? And the reason behind this stems from the fact that I often find myself thinking of a goal, a number of clients paying X amount of money that will reside in Y monthly amount of money, Z yearly amount of money. And I do this all the time, like literally all the time. And I know other people do this too. And I sometimes will create a spreadsheet doing this and see the projections and they say, wow, if I could just do this much money this month, that'd be great. My life would be fantastic. And as a matter of fact, there's an overall theme here where people want that unicorn of $10,000 a month. Okay, at least to start. And then they get there maybe, and then they want $50,000 a month, and then $100,000 a month. And then they want to sell and become acquisition news. Anyway, so with that said, I was recently thinking about this. And I was wondering, do I want that growth for growth's sake? Do I want 250, 300 clients monthly reoccurring? And if I did, at what cost? What am I willing to do to get there? So it's a toss-up. I'm still torn on that answer. And then I recall hearing someone say on a podcast that winners and losers have the same goals, but it comes down to the process in order to achieve it. I'm like, that was interesting. Winners and losers have the same goals, but it comes down to the processes that are needed to achieve the goal. So let's look at that from a 10,000 foot view. I did some research here. Goals versus process. First and foremost, goals are inflexible. Okay, they lock you into a fixed outcome as you try to navigate what could be considered a very complex and changing world. Okay. Number 2 here would be goals can encourage unethical behavior. And I thought this was interesting. I kind of dug into this. Research in companies have shown that while goals may raise and enhance performance initially, they can also lead to lower engagement and unethical behavior, and this is shown with trying to undercut competition and or offer back-end monies, or even say you can do something knowing you can't do it, but promising the world and way under-delivering, which is unethical, right? And the third one here, which I thought was kind of a heck of a statement, is that goals can make you a failure a majority of the time. Because think about it, when you set a goal, you're immediately positioning yourself in a state of failure until you reach it. And if you're just always reaching for something, it's draining, demoralizing. It's not the best place as a mindset and mental health place to be, right? So Now, contrast to that, to goals, would be systems, because they are a more immediate result of something that is controllable, right? Technically speaking, simply stated, a system is about creating a repeatable set of actions instead of considering the overarching goal you're working towards. So an example on this would be, let's say you want to write a novel. You could focus on the system of writing a whole novel in one day, but you're not going to get there. But instead, let's say you just took an hour a day and you wrote anything at all, just wrote. If you did it every day for 300 days, you'd have a lot of content, right? So to expand on this, in the business area, there are a multitude of systems. The two large areas that I want to focus on here, marketing system, sales system. Marketing would be how to generate a consistent flow of leads into the business. And the sales system is just the way to nurture the leads, follow up with them, hopefully convert them into a paying customer. Now, I'm not saying that creating a system is going to be easy. Of course not. It takes time, but it's worth it in the long run because the system is the way to get to the goal. So I think a lot of times we get in front of ourselves, cart before the horse kind of mentality, being agency owners or business owners, wherever you are in the arena here, and thinking, I just need more, I just need a big goal. I need to have this huge target per month. It's a unicorn of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 monthly recurring revenue, right? But I think it's the wrong way to approach it. I know it has been for me. So now I'm putting more systems into place. I have them already. I have them for the podcast. I just did a talk on that last week. I have them for other areas of my life, but they really need to be in place across the board in the business area. Marketing, sales, development. Systems are the key to get you to a goal. So I think at the moment, take a breath, take a step back, and work on your systems versus the goal. Okay, so there you go. If you disagree or agree, I would love to hear about it. By all means, shoot me an email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com. We'll talk more about it. All right, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This week's tip, it's a plugin. It's a live summary for Gravity Forms. It's free. I heard about this on a Slack group that I'm on. It allows you to add live order summary to Gravity Forms. There's a post about it. I'll link to that in the show notes. And there's a link also to the repository where you can grab it as well. You need Gravity Forms 2.5, I believe, and above. Pretty cool, though. And so check that out. Once again, it's called Live Summary for Gravity Forms. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead and send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use the SpeakPipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, you become a Patreon. I would love to have you as a Patreon. You can also sponsor the show. That'd be a fantastic way to help as well. There's a form on the website. Fill that out, send it in, and we'll talk. All right, thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.